Good morning. Well, as you may have seen on Instagram recently, Jared started a new job at the beginning of November, which is super exciting, but it also means that progress has kind of slowed down here in Pauline because instead of 6 days a week to work on her, we have 1 day a week. We have Saturdays. And as everybody else during the holidays, our Saturdays are not always available for working on Pauline. So progress has been a little bit slower, but we are back at it. You may notice we already have our mattress on, and I will show you the time lapse of us wrestling that out of the plastic wrap now. So we have the headboard and the footboard attached. The sideboard storage compartment is now fully functional. So the bedroom is approaching completion. It's really exciting. We still have to put the face frame on the drawer that goes underneath the bed, but that drawer is now in. That is the first of many, many drawers that have to be installed in Pauline, and that's what we'll be working on today.
So this is actually a video of us installing a drop-down door because, well, I'll let Jared explain in a minute, but suffice it to say that we spent several days installing drawers and we have zero video evidence of it.
So we found that doors are easy, drawers are complicated. But after a few attempts, we were able to get all these drawers installed into the pantry. These are all side mount slides. Just to make it complicated, we decided to do side mount slides in the pantry and under mount slides in the kitchen. And so that's what we have here installed here, but those work great. All of them soft close. Today what we've been installing is the drawer faces. So that's just going to be this facade out here on the front of the drawer that makes it kind of follow the same pattern as the doors. And so what we've done is basically we've just drilled some holes in the inside of the drawer, installed some screws to hold that into place. We'll put the pulls on eventually. So we've done all of those. We did the trash can drawer here, and now what we're getting ready to do, what we have clamped up here, is the fake drawers. You see we've got spacers in here. That way they're spaced out exactly like all the other drawers that we've already installed today.
Because the washer dryer is at a 90-degree angle to everything else in the Airstream, we decided to install fake drawer fronts on this part of the cabinet, and we'll be putting in a fake cabinet wall on the end so that it gives the impression that everything is facing towards the center of the Airstream, but we'll have more convenient access to the washer dryer out of the end of the cabinets. I know it sounds weird, but trust us, it's going to look great. I'll give you an updated walkthrough of the interior at the end, but before that, let's head back outside to take care of the last persistent leak that we've been dealing with.
Today what we're going to be working on is fixing the shape of the door. So if you take a look at the door right here where we've had the leaks, we have the door fits nice and flush right here, and then you see it actually goes out away from the frame right here. If I push on it, I can feel it hitting the frame again. So what that's doing is that's creating a gap right there. How did that happen? Well, likely when this thing was in transit, this door popped open. Maybe it wasn't closed right, maybe the latch failed. Popped open. This is a suicide door. It slammed against the other side right here and flattened this door. This door should be curved. It flattened it up against the side just a little bit, but just enough to make it not fit completely flush. So what we're going to do, we're going to move the screen door over there, and today we're going to take off all these rivets that are on here and right here. We're going to take those out, those panels off. We've never actually opened up this door, so there's going to be a whole bunch of old pink insulation in here, I'm guessing, probably an ant farm. It's going to be a mess. We're going to take all that off. We got to take this hardware off, and we're going to take all that insulation out, and then we're going to take, we saw this video online, we really want to credit the guy for showing us that, and take a ratchet strap over the top of this door all the way around right there and literally just ratchet it just very slowly and carefully and try to recreate that curve that it's supposed to have. Then we're going to put insulation back, put the cover back on, put all the hardware back on, make sure it's sealed up right.
Once we had the door stripped down to the very base frame and shell, we put the ratchet strap around it and measured to make sure that it was equally spaced between the edges of the door. We also measured from a fixed point on the door to see how far out the strap was, so that as we tightened the strap, we would know how much we had tightened it, because as that distance between the strap and the door expanded, that means we had created more curve in the door. Then Jared very, very carefully tightened the strap, going about 1 notch on the ratchet each time until we had created more deflection than we wanted to see once we released the strap, since the door would spring back. Okay, so we're about to release the ratchet strap, and it is super loud. It sounds like a gunshot, so just brace yourself. So some things we learned from doing this. When we were measuring between our fixed point and the straps on the door, we started out at like 3 3/4 inches, and I think we ended up at about 5 inches. But we worked up to that gradually. Don't try to go from 3 3/4 all the way to 5 the first time you ratchet. Do from 3 3/4 to like a little bit past 4, and then release, and do it a couple of times. Be like Naaman dipping in the Jordan River. Just have faith that if you keep doing it, you will eventually get the result you're looking for. So it took us probably 5 times to get all the way up to that 5 inches between our fixed point and the strap. And after we released it that time, it seemed to have corrected the curve.
On one occasion, we actually left it for about 5 or 10 minutes. I think on the last one, actually. So the most deflection, we left it for 5 or 10 minutes and just kind of let it sit with the straps on there.
So be really careful. Make sure your strap is straight up and down, or else you can torque it and twist it in weird ways. Sometimes you have to do that to correct the curve.
We did.
But if you're going to do it intentionally. Don't accidentally torque your door in a weird direction.
Okay, for those of you wondering like myself, did we really do anything? Alright, so when this door would have swung open while in transit, the screen door would have come with it. And so what you can see now is these doors that used to fit perfectly with each other, it now touches up top, it touches down at the bottom, and this is how much deflection we created in the middle of the door right here. So we actually did create a good amount of deflection. That's probably 1/2 inch. That may be enough to do it. We'll see.
Now that we've corrected the curve on the main door, we are also correcting the curve on the screen door to match, because right now when we try to close them, the screen door is pushing back out against the main door since it's also deformed. So we want to fix the curve so all the curves match. The curve of the door matches the curve of the screen door, matches the curve of the Airstream. Test time. I don't see anything. Results of the test were mostly good. We did not have any leaks between the door and the frame. However, we did notice that we had a couple of drips right here, but above this area right here was dry. So it's not getting in between the door and the frame anymore, but it looks like this seal up here is letting some water in. So we need to reseal that so the water can't get into the door itself. But it looks like the reshaping has worked. Once the door had been reshaped and the seals had been redone, Jared put in new insulation, then put the panels back in place with Clecos. Then he put in the door handle, which, yes, we know it needs to be re-chromed. But we didn't have time for that today, and we could not close the door until the handle had been reinstalled. So we put it back on for the time being, and then he went back and replaced those Clecos with rivets. So here we go. All the drawers are installed, all the cabinet pulls and drawer pulls are installed. This section over here is where we're going to have Harry's dog food. This is also going to be our electronics cabinet. These are those fake drawers that we installed. And then our false cabinet side that has a spring-loaded latch so that you can pop it open and reach the washer dryer, but when you close it, you can't tell it's a door, hopefully. You come into the kitchen, we've got all our other drawers. Like this is our trash can. It's small, but it's bigger than most people get in an RV. Over here on this side, we've got the pantry. We've got several drawers in the pantry so we can maximize the storage space all the way to the back. And we had to be creative about the space at the bottom of the cabinet because the wheel well runs through the back and the heater vent runs through. So we don't have much space down there, but at least we can store a little bit in that fold down cabinet. We still need to install a clothing rail and shelves, but that's the closet for today. And then in the vanity, we added this sliding door so that we could get a little bit more storage back in the bathroom next to the toilet and over the wheel well. As you can tell, we've got a little bit of touch-up paint to do, but at least all the doors are in. We also have the headboard and footboard installed in the bedroom, and as you might be able to tell, we have actually slept in there a couple of nights. It's a pretty comfortable mattress. We're really pleased. Hopefully next up, countertops.